Alrighty, I'm here with a very long time customer of ours. Brock has been crushing it with online leads for well before us, but him and I had a very starting conversation in, I think it was late 2023, if I remember this correctly. I'm going offhand here, but it's been great. And I say this with every review or interview that we do. The customer working with us is just as important as us working with him and his team, obviously. And it's a team effort here. And the way that online leads work is we'll get into this in a couple of minutes. It's very important that we work in tandem here. So I'll let Brock kind of introduce himself, how long he's been in business, and more specifically for those listening, how long he's been generating real estate leads, and we can roll from there.
Yeah, so my name is Brock. I live in Victoria. We have a team called the Webbers. There's four of us on the team now. I started real estate in 2018. Originally started doing internet leads in 2020. As Brandon mentioned, we started working together, I think end of 2023 sounds about right.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've been working with him for, I guess it's 3 years now. We've had very good success with it. So happy to jump on a video here with Brandon and run through it.
Love it. Appreciate it. When did you, I guess first things, when did you realize that because you guys were generating a ton of leads before even working with us, which was great. We obviously came in and I can't remember what site I saw, but that's how I found you directly. And I was like, hey, this actually is good timing. Was there a specific moment where it's like, holy crap, we're drowning in leads, or hey, I can't keep up with these myself? Or when was that timing where you're like, all right, the time has come. I need someone. We got to kind of delegate the ISA stuff to someone.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So at the start, it was just Thomas, my brother, and I working leads. I can't remember, exactly how many leads we were doing a month, but it was probably,
I think it was
I don't
like
know,
three.
yeah, 100
It was
at
like
least.
depending on database too. I think we took a total of 2 to 250 the first month, and then it
Yeah.
started to kind of spool up from there because we were
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense. So we would have been working our own. So, the way it worked. So let's say 200 leads, we'd call them 6 times, text them 4 times, email drips. And you could imagine after doing that for a couple of years, the pipeline really builds up.
yeah,
And now you're starting to maybe not follow up with people as well as we'd like to. And, it just drops off. So that's when we reached out to Brandon and basically took all of that off our plate. And rather than calling 100 people to only find a couple who are actually interested, Brandon and his team, they'll call them all. And we only have people booked into our calendar who are actually looking to buy or sell, which
yeah.
was a game changer. It completely freed up our time to do more high value items like showings and follow up with active clients and past clients. So it was a big win there.
That was the main thing you told me. It's like, man, I don't want to worry about contacting the first leads, calling within the first 5 minutes. You told me we need this, whether we go with you directly or someone else, like
Mhm.
we're going to need this at some point if I want to scale, which you knew. And a lot of agents kind of do it backwards. They will hit the objection of like, I could do this myself. And it's like, of course you could. But at the same time, do you really do you not even just do you want to, but do you have the time to do 2, 3, 4 hours a day of calls with Brock's lead numbers, lead flow alone? Just his new leads took us multiple hours a day, right? So there was that, and then like you said, that kind of answered my next question was once we were rolling, like setup was great. I think we were in and done in 48 hours, maybe even less than that. So
Yeah.
that was the simple part. I guess how was
Seamless.
for if you remember, how was the first experience of seeing that Convertifi appointment, new buyer appointment with first name, last name, or I think there was like even a couple sellers to begin, but I want to hear how that
Yeah.
was.
Well, no, it's great. I mean, obviously, anytime someone's booking pre-qualified appointments into your calendar, I mean, how could you not love that?
Yeah.
So that was good. Um, what more can I say about that? I guess what I also really enjoyed was we've worked with other companies in the past, and what I had a really hard time with was doing the live transfers.
Yeah.
It's really hard to relay all that information in 15 seconds, and then you're kind of scrambling, and I just don't like that.
Yeah. I agree.
So having, detailed notes put into your calendar that you can see it's hooked up to our Calendly and our Google Calendar. So they'd book when we're available, which was also good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty seamless integration and it worked very well. Yeah.
I love that. There was some where, of course, like for those listening, it's not like it really depends on the lead and how much data and leverage we get from them. And of course, we have sometimes a ton of ammo. We'll get 3 paragraphs of information where it's like we know we give Brock and we just give anyone the chance to like start at step 10. So you're not doing steps 1 to 9 yourself. That's essentially what this is. It's leads. They're not hot and ready to buy right now. It's not like that, but they are like a lot more qualified and they're a lot more serious, and we actually vet them and give you that information. But sometimes it's a little bit, it's just a couple sentences, it's a couple paragraphs, but there's always something to go off of, that we gave his team. And then of course that goes into the next part, which is the second half of this, because we can only do so much, right? With any online leads, that's where it's like some agents will blame the lead provider, or they'll say the lead quality is trash. And there is cases of that. We even had months where it's like, hey man, lead flow is like the quality of these are pretty garbage, but there was always a way to work through them. And there was like, what can we do different? It's, we got to take some ownership here, and let's figure this out. And then of course the next month there was, or maybe a couple months after that, I think it was a record month for how many appointments were set. I think we set like 25, 30 at some points, certain
Mm.
months. So
Yeah.
I guess what made you guys so successful on the back end of actually getting these leads across the finish line? And the finish line doesn't even have to be just a deal. It could be, hey, we got them set up on some showings. Hey, we at least set up a further search and we got them some exclusive listings. Like, was there anything, I guess, on your part that you did to be like, let's make this, if we're paying for all these leads, we're paying for brand and service, how can we make this like actually ROI positive, I guess?
Yeah, for sure. So step one would always be to kind of recap your initial call. We get them set up through the One Home portal. That's what we use here in Victoria.
Right.
And we also have Real Geeks, so we set them up on both. So now they're getting drips from us basically for the homes
Hmm.
that they're looking for. First call is basically, most of them aren't looking right this day. So the first call is to earn the right to follow up with them again.
Hmm.
Typically you'd be like, hey, we've got you all set up. I'm gonna give you a call next week just to confirm that you're getting the homes that we've been sending you,
Hmm.
and to make sure that they're actually in line with what you're looking for. And then at that time we can make changes. So that's the first step. After that, depending on, if they're 1 month out or a year out, it kind of will dictate how this next call goes. But let's say someone, let's be honest, I've found in our experience, leads are typically an 8 to 15 month window
Yeah.
before they purchase.
100%. Yeah.
Sometimes you get people in that 1 month, which is great, but generally speaking, 8 to 15 months. So with those people, what we found with internet leads is a lot of them don't have any loyalty. They're clicking on everyone's website, they're signing up, they're getting calls from tons of people.
Yep.
So what we've found after years of experience with this was the best way to kind of mitigate that is to get in front of them as fast as possible. So what we offer are educational tours. Basically, it's, the script kind of goes something along the lines of, um, so the script goes, a lot of our clients in the past have found it very helpful to do what we call an educational tour. This is getting out from behind the keyboard and actually opening up some doors without any intention of purchasing.
Yeah.
This is only to see what you like and what you dislike so that you can go home, mull it over for a couple months. And then when the time is right, we can specifically look at the homes that makes the most sense. And it does two things. One, it gets you in front of them, builds rapport. Two, sometimes it pulls up their timeline as well. So that was the
Yep.
biggest one. Because again, you could have really good rapport on the phone and you could be following up with them for months, and then
Yeah.
you'll call them the next month and they'll be like, oh yeah, we bought last week.
Yeah.
Happens
Yeah.
all the time.
We've
So
seen
that's
those.
kind of how we get around that. It still happens sometimes. It's just the way internet leads are. But
No,
that was a big one for us.
the third thing you kind of mentioned it, but the third thing that it does too, I didn't even know this, and now I'm just piecing the things together with glue. Is like, wait a second, you turned it because pre-COVID there was a lot of, hey, let's meet at a coffee shop, and it's like buyers got smarter now. It's like, I know exactly where you want me to meet at the coffee shop. You want me to sign the BRA, you want me to sign the contract, you want me to be committed to working with you, and it's like that worked pre 5, 6, 7 years ago, but you now it's like you gotta just give. I know it's cheesy, but the value, value, value. You got to give like 10 layers of value before you even ask for anything. So this educational thing is making it like before it would be a sales pitch where it's like they know exactly what you're doing. Now it's just, hey, this is a super laid back, almost like educational consultation where there's really, you said it, it's like there really is no pressure. However,
Mhm.
if it makes sense, if there's something that piques your interest, of course I would like to be the guy, the team that takes care of you, and we can do that with X, Y, and Z, and you would kind of lay out the services. So it's almost like you're sales 101. You're hand holding them throughout the entire process, which is amazing because yes, some agents will say, well, no, I don't want to work with this lead. If he didn't pick up my phone one time, then I'm never calling him again. It's like, well, that doesn't, online leads don't work that way. You got to call them 3 to 5 times sometimes if the appointment, like stuff happens, right? They're human
Yeah.
too. So you always just, I liked your, not being not emotional, but at the same time, you're just kind of like being a Terminator, being like, hey, I can help you. This is exactly how we can do it. If it makes sense, let's do it. If not, you're just going to nurture them anyways. And that,
Yeah.
what you said at the very beginning of that, I don't want to let it go, is so many agents will say, why the hell aren't deals closing? And it is weird to spend a lot on ad spend and on ISA services. And then 6 months go by, it's like, well, we're seeing people on showings, but there's literally $0 coming in on the bank. Like, what is happening here? And it's the compound effect. I know it
Mhm.
sucks short term, but then it's a matter of like the leads that we booked, yeah, technically booked in early, late 2023, didn't convert until summer 2024. I vividly remember saying where you came up, it's like, hey, it's a small deal, but it happened. She transacted. It took a while, but now we're starting to see the leads that you booked in December, January, and February convert in April, May, June. Like that's just the way that how this thing goes. So it's almost like the compound effect where you just have to give it time, 6 to 12 months of a ton of appointments, a ton of pipeline building, and then it all starts to the coins just start to fall off from there, and you start to get some return, which is great. But a lot of people they'll shut off their ad spend too quickly, or it's that cheesy the guy who's mining for gold or diamonds, and he's like literally this close, and then he stops and turns around, and it's like that. Unfortunately, is a lot of agents right now. So
Yeah.
that's
One more thing I'd maybe add is one of the things that really kind of sells me personally with working with internet leads
mhm,
is, well, one, through slower markets, we've still grown our business every single year, year
yep,
over year, since we started working online leads.
mhm,
And the way I look at it is, a lot of people have, well, not a lot of people, some people have strong referrals and strong sphere.
yeah,
But for those who don't, that's where internet leads comes in. That's a much better option and a much
yeah,
more predictable
exactly,
option because Sphere is not predictable. You could have a really good year and then a really slow year. But with internet leads, if you pay X and you know you convert X, you have a predictable model where you should
exactly,
be able to figure out exactly how many deals, or close to how many deals you're doing in a year.
exactly.
So that
But
just makes more sense for me. Anytime you kind of have a fixed outcome, in my mind, that's a win.
it's like you put $1 in. This is like basic, any Facebook for sure, but I like Google pay per click. Those listening know that our YouTube ads are really good too. Even like these weird ChatGPT just launched ads, and there's tons of agents who are like, "How the heck do I get on ChatGPT when someone types in homes for sale in Etobicoke, Ontario? How do I be that top 5 ranking?" Like that is happening right now, and that's a predictable way. Just like Brock said, you can have organic leads. You can have an incredible, not even years. I was going to say months. Some agents have an incredible month, and then they get 3 deals closed from their sphere, and then they go 3 months without anything. It's completely dry, and that I get it. That would mess with me mentally. So I understand the risk that these people are taking to spend the money, but at the same time, like Brock said, you have to do it. It's predictable. You obviously you're gonna have to make tweaks to your ads and to your marketing, but as long as you have a good lead gen company, which we can do as well, we do only Google pay per click or Facebook ads, but we can tailor that to make sure that you get good quality leads. And again, it's done for you, so you don't have to worry about all the like you just set or you get on the appointments that we set for you. It's that simple, and don't worry about anything else. You kind of already said it, I guess. My final question is like, what would you? And for those listening, we're filming this March 2026. So yeah, the market is in. All markets are in a very odd or weird spot. Nobody really knows what's going on. What would you recommend to agents through not only a slow season, but just anyone who wants to generate leads, start hiring a company like ours? And have some and actually like scale, have something that's actually predictable, like an online lead system, so they could get 5, 20, 30 appointments a month, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I have this conversation with people in my office all the time. I guess I'm kind of known to be the online lead guy within my
Hmm.
brokerage. And I always kind of do the same thing. I'll break it down by numbers. Like this is our average deal. This
Yep,
is about how much it costs. And then, but the common pushback is, well, I don't have that much to spend out the gate. So I do appreciate the concern with the initial investment doing it.
for
But what
sure.
I would say, if you have it, it costs money to make money. At the end of the day, it's a business. You're not just a realtor. It's a business, and businesses have expenses.
Exactly.
So when you look at it from that mindset, it's kind of honestly silly not to,
Yeah,
because you have nothing but the only thing you can do is gain. So I would say just do it and have the mindset that it's not going to be, 1 month return, 3 month return. maybe it'll be 8 months before you really start to see a rollover. For
Yeah.
me personally, I noticed after 12 months, it really started to compound. And again, as I mentioned earlier, um, even through slower down markets, we've
Hmm.
still been able to build our business year over year. This year looks like it's going to be significantly bigger than last year already. So it really does have a compounding effect for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's all the questions for me. I appreciate you sharing your story. If there's anything else, of course, you want to add on just services in general, I think it was great working with you, and there's a ton of things that we learned as well and along the process. And again, for
Mhm.
those listening, just do it. I think just like now is honestly a good time too. It's also the cheesy like investing strategy where it's like the most money is made during downturns or during down markets. Now is a good
Yeah.
time to make the content, get the ads rolling, get some leads generated, and roll from there. So no, that's
Well, yeah,
awesome.
actually, final point to that, I would say, during COVID, when the
Mhm.
market was nuts, lead prices were higher. I have noticed lead prices generally seem to be a little bit lower right now, so you're also getting better bang for buck. So that's
Exactly.
something to
It's like
consider as
a
well.
20 viewed as like a 10-20% discount, 15%
That sounds
discount
about
depending on
right.
your volume. So
Yeah.
it's like, hey, well, like if I could get a couple again, I always use the math of like rule of one and going back to the final before we end this off is the compound effect of just seeing the momentum and at least seeing the first couple appointments, even if it's not a deal just yet for the first 3 to 6 months, at least you know you're on the right track. Of course, for those who potentially going to start this, it's like if 6 months go by and you don't have an appointment, okay, now you have the permission to freak out. Something's wrong. Either something's wrong with your follow up, which is why it's important to have a company like us, or if you're going to really do it yourself, you have to commit. You have to have that schedule. You have to actually do your follow ups. And that's the time where you could start like, okay, something's wrong. But until then, month 2, 3, 4, like, do not freak out. I think the main thing is patience and just letting things flow and do their thing. These networks are getting so good. Meta and Google are so good at finding you your leads. It's in their best interest to not burn your cash and make you positive so that you can spend a lot more money. That's how they get you. But as long as you're ROI positive, like Brock said earlier, where it's like we put $1 in and we know we're getting X amount out, it's like this kind of makes sense. So no, that's awesome. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming on, and it
Yeah.
was it was great. Good chatting as
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks, man. That was.